So there you are, Jan. Pull that mask down and say, you know.
Hello,
So
everybody.
everybody recognized you because from Flipping with Granda.
Now we're cooking.
And Jill's going to be our co-host throughout this whole 1,000-episode series. I'm cooking the shepherd's pie.
Yes. And I'm going to be making key lime pie.
And you're making the key lime pie.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to go close the door for the dogs.
Okay.
So, I'm going to start off, because I think whoever's doing the entree probably should start off. And then whoever's doing like the dessert or associated dish of some kind will probably follow.
Yes.
And then of course we'll alternate, which means that next time you get to go first, Jill.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Excellent. While we film you doing everything.
Grammy made a wonderful suggestion to make grandmother's broccoli cheese casserole one time.
Oh.
Ah, yes. I think that would be excellent.
Yes.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
So I'm going to be doing something really easy, I think, which is the shepherd's pie. And shepherd's pie dates back to the 1700s. I did a little research, and I think maybe for hundreds of years prior to that, the Irish did shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie was basically created to use up leftovers. So people had leftovers from whatever they served like the night before, and they would use that to make a shepherd's pie. Now, the neat thing about shepherd's pie, especially in Ireland, everybody had lamb, because lambs are just by the millions over there in Ireland, and everybody pretty much had potatoes. Ireland is famous for its potatoes, and in fact, the majority of the immigrants to the United States from Ireland came over during the potato famine. You may have heard that of that at one point in the past, but it's so fun. I feel like I'm teaching you guys.
You are.
But I did some research on that, and that's what I found out. So it's actually pretty easy. Generally, you throw everything in, and you're going to have a layer of potato on top. And we brown it, okay, in the oven. And so, and then you may have some lamb. Now, I'm not cooking it with lamb. I have, and I love it, but I'm cooking it with beef, ground beef. And so, in England, Ireland, everywhere, they generally would refer to that as a cottage pie. A cottage pie being not lamb. If it's shepherd's pie, then it's lamb. If it's anything else like turkey, pie, you know, that kind of stuff, then we call it a cottage pie. All right? So that's it. So my first step is going to be to get the potatoes cooking, because that's going to take a little bit long to get that done. So basically, I've already peeled potatoes, except for one. There was one I did not peel because I wanted to save that for the video, but the rest of them are in there. And maybe we get Janet to kind of show what's the others in the pot there, because we're going to finish this up by me just peeling this one potato. In fact, I think I'm peeling about 10 little ones. I'm going to cut all of those. So, I had a knife out here. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to get those all cut, because we're going to make mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes, it's going to be the top layer of a shepherd's pie. Now, or a cottage pie, either one. It always has a top layer of potato, which makes it really wonderful. So I'm going to just basically cut these into about 1-inch pieces, and we'll see. I got some little ones here. I might just kind of cut them in half and throw them in. If I make a mess, my daughter right there, Janet, will yell at me. And I'm actually going to put the mask over when I'm doing this because we have this coronavirus thing going. And I don't have it. I'm pretty sure I don't have it. I have always taken protection to wear masks and gloves and things like that. So I'm pretty sure I don't have it. But just in case, I want to stay masked and gloved while I'm cooking. Mashed potatoes is also very easy to make. Peel potatoes. Some people don't even peel the potatoes. At least wash them good because potatoes grow underground. And which means when they're dug out, they're dirty. They're filthy. And so it takes a while to get that in. So we have that done. So I'm going over here. I'm gonna get this to boil. So basically I want to cook the potatoes until tender. And a good test is they're easily crushed. I usually just take a fork and poke them, and the fork just goes through them like it was melted butter or something. So the filling basically, and I've already got everything measured and set out. So what I have here is just a little bit of oil that I'll use to cook the, in fact I'll get this warming up real quick. To get the onion, which I've already chopped, and the minced garlic. Then we have the ground beef, salt and pepper. At some point we're going to throw a little bit of flour on the ground beef. Okay, and that will do some wonderful things. Got a little bit of tomato paste that I'm going to use. I'm probably only going to use 2 teaspoons of this, throw the rest away. Then I have a beef broth, and I went ahead and threw the Worcestershire sauce in there. Then I've got, I love this rosemary. This is Sam's Choice rosemary. I guess it came from Sam's. And basically it's a grinder. So there's the rosemary leaves, and you just grind it and make whatever you need. And some thyme. And then we're going to have peas and carrots and corn. And I like a little extra can of mushrooms in there. So that takes care of that. That's kind of how that goes. So we're going to take our oil and stick it in there. And I'll just test it like that, and it's not quite hot enough, because what happens when I throw water on it, it goes and that means it's hot enough. We want it to get hot because I'm going to cook I'm going to kind of saute the onion and the garlic and all of that.
And it's going to smell wonderful.
It'll start smelling very good in here, so that'll be good. The stuff I have over here is for the potatoes when the time comes, once they're done, is we will have, I got some whole milk, a stick of butter that's out here thawing a little bit. It's kind of getting thaw. I got a little salt and pepper. I think it's a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Okay, and I got an egg yolk, and we'll throw all that in there and stir it up really good. And I'm using kosher salt. Everything I cook with is kosher salt. I don't like iodine taste in anything I cook. So the normal salt that we use, I don't use. Okay, I like to use kosher salt. This is Morton's kosher salt. It's available everywhere. So many people are using it that I think that it's kind of available everywhere. Not quite yet. Hear that? All right. So that means we're ready to begin cooking onions. We want the onions just to kind of get translucent. Is that the word?
Yep.
Where you can kind of see through them. And as that starts happening, we'll just go ahead and throw in the minced garlic. Instead of mincing the garlic, like so many people do, I just buy it, a jug of it at the store. Minced garlic, and then all I gotta do is throw in what I need. Okay. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the meat ready to go. You see, as part of my prep, I kind of laid all these guys out in the order in which I would use them. So we're going to be ready for that. And this is actually 1 pound of ground beef, and it's 93% lean. Okay, which means
So you have 2 of them. That's 2 pounds total?
that's 2 pounds total. So we don't have to really drain. Okay, I'm turning that temperature down just a little bit, because I pretty much got where I want to be. Trash for this. And we're going to go ahead and get the ground beef crumbled up. Ground beef needs to be well done. Normally if you cook a steak or something, you like that to be medium rare. Well, you don't want your ground beef that way. Just for protection. You know, a lot of times I'll get a great hamburger to eat and I'll order it medium. One of the few exceptions to that. And then we'll add the salt and pepper. That was about a teaspoon of salt and about a half a teaspoon of pepper. And if it wasn't, I'm not going to say. I believe it was, though. Pretty close. But we'll taste it at the end and we'll see if we need more salt and pepper. And we'll check and see how our potatoes are coming. And the potatoes are still very hard, so this is okay. Hadn't even boiled yet. All right. So we're still kind of waiting for our stuff to cook, which reminds me I want to get this guy bake 400 degrees start, and let's turn the light on. I'm going to get that ready to go.
It's always very important to preheat your oven.
Gotta preheat the oven. Yeah, definitely want to preheat the oven, and I meant to do that a little bit earlier.
You can edit this and make that go first.
No, that's one of those things I'm not going to edit. If I make a mistake, I'm just going to show the world the mistake that I made. But it's not a big deal. We just have to wait for the oven to finish preheating. Oh, the pink has almost disappeared. And over here on the potatoes, we're not quite boiled yet. I need the pink to completely disappear from the ground beef. So that I know that it's completely done. One thing that's neat about the shepherd's pie is everything is already cooked by the time I take this casserole and put it in the casserole and put that in the oven. So all I'm trying to do in the oven is brown the potato layer. That's good. I could do that on broil, but I think it adds a lot to not do it on broil.
You should model your apron for us, Granddaw. Cooking with Jill and Granddaw.
You like that?
Love it.
Jill's got one too. Cooking with Jill and Granddaw. And I've actually made a whole new YouTube channel for our cooking episodes. What are we going to do next time, Jill? Well, think about that while I sprinkle a little bit of flour in here. I just kind of want to sprinkle it in here. Don't really want a clump of any kind. And this is going to basically soak up a little bit of the leftover grease and start creating an incredible gravy with that. And you might have seen a little bit of juice there before, and it's pretty much gone now. Okay, and I'm gonna get 2 teaspoons of tomato paste. Well, I call that 1. We'll call that 2, and that's good. Yeah, oh man, this is looking so good. All right, so I'm gonna throw in the beef stock. Now, normally we use chicken stock, and chicken stock is fine. We do that, I do chicken stock with turkey, I do chicken stock with chicken. I can do chicken stock with beef, and it's okay. I already threw the Worcestershire sauce in with the chicken stock, so that got all of that together. Oh, that looks wonderful. And we are boiling. So we're going down to low on the potatoes. And I think we're good. Okay, potatoes are still a little hard, which of course is normal. And so now it should be about 10 to 15 minutes until it's done. And it's done, and take some tongs and grab one of those guys and just squeeze it. It'll just crush so easy. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is just take a fork and stab one, and that's another good way of doing it. I'm turning all this all the way down.
Jill, which method do you prefer to check your potatoes?
I use a fork.
Yep, fork's the best way for me too. There we go. I'm doing this by sight. Because it doesn't give you very much at a time, but I think that's about 2 teaspoons. And rosemary and thyme, and I think that's about 2 teaspoons. Now that's basically where the flavor comes from. And let's go ahead and cover and let it simmer slowly, 10 to 12 minutes. Nope. Not there yet. Saul, but I think it takes a few more minutes. Jill, you want to come check this?
Yes.
See what you think.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
A little bit longer?
Yes.
Okay. We'll let it go a little bit longer. Perfect, thank you. Alright, sauce is thickened pretty good, which is really good. So I think we can go ahead and start adding the other stuff. I like to drain everything. Don't have to drain it perfectly, but because a little bit of the juice is fine. As you can tell, I already ran the cans through the can opener.
I thought you were magic.
So I'm not magic. Jill, you might want to look at this. This is, to me, this is always beautiful.
That looks so good.
Yeah, you might want to test that again. Just tell me when you think we're done. A little bit more time?
Yeah, it's probably like 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. Good. I think we're good. Now I already took the baking dish and used a little bit of oil. I could have used a cooking spray, you know, but it's just so easy to use the oil and then take a paper towel and just kind of wipe it all over. And I make sure I get it up on the top edges, everything, just because I'm going to try to get the potatoes up there. So we'll just see how that goes. We'll just go ahead and let's just go ahead and put this off and we'll kind of dump this in. I think we're good. Okay. And we'll kind of smooth this out a little bit.
Seems very easy.
Well, that's really what we're hoping for. Just kind of getting it smoothed out. And we'll wait on the potatoes and then we'll throw it into the oven. I think we're good on that. I think it's ready.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think they're ready too.
All right, so I got my colander down here. Let me dump this out.
Don't let the steam burn you.
That's exactly. I don't want to let the steam burn me. Then I'm going to pour these guys right back in. We're going to get back over here. I'm turning that back down to low. Okay. And then we're going to crush the mashed potatoes, or mash the mashed potatoes. You know, we'll make ourselves a little monster mash. It's a what? It's a what? It's a monster mash. Might be a little nutty. Alright. Is this how you do it?
You do it in the stand mixer.
Well, there you go. I don't have to mess up the stand mixture. But this, I already kind of got it. So now we're going to put in, it's actually 1 cup of whole milk. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to that. What do you think? Then we're going to take this, a whole stick of butter. Yep. And I like to kind of knock it up into little patties. What do you think?
Great idea. Melts faster.
You can see the bubbling going on back there in the back. Probably we should have put a cookie sheet under it to protect the oven. Was that lemon juice or?
It's Nellie and Joe's famous Key West lime juice. So key lime juice.
Okay. Key lime juice.
Yes.
Love it. Didn't even know there was such a thing. Learned something already. So now I get to watch my beautiful granddaughter Jill cook.
Yes. So for the key lime pie, just get a shortbread crust. But if you can't find any, then you can use a graham cracker crust. And you want all your ingredients to be room temperature. So you want it, let it sit outside of the fridge for about an hour, maybe more. Probably around 2 hours, more than 1 hour. So you just take all of your ingredients and put them all in your stand mixer, or you can use a hand mixer with just a bowl. It doesn't matter, they work the same. And you just blend them all together. So you're gonna use 1 whole brick of cream cheese. Just set this right here. And then you're gonna use 1 can of Eagle brand condensed milk, or you can just use whatever store brand, doesn't matter. And put it all in. And it's really important to let all of your ingredients get room temperature because when you blend it, you don't want it to get lumpy. You want your pie filling to be smooth. You don't want chunks in it.
What was that right there?
This was the key lime juice. It
Oh, yeah.
was 3/4 of a cup.
Okay. Key lime juice.
Nellie and Joe's famous
I
Key
didn't even know
West
there was
key
such a
lime
thing.
juice.
Yes.
I think that's wonderful.
And then you're going to use 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Of what?
Vanilla extract.
Vanilla?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm an old guy, I can't hear. What I think I hear is wrong. Alright, so 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Yes.
Gotcha. Perfect.
And now you just start to mix it. Start it off slow so it doesn't splash everywhere. And see how the cream cheese is breaking up. So you want it to be room temperature so it doesn't stay like that. Once you knock the speed up faster, then it's gonna, what is the word?
Make a mess.
Smooth out.
Yes, it's gonna smooth out, but you wanna gradually do it so it doesn't go everywhere.
Gradually, I think you said.
Yes. While it's blending, also, you can take the top off of your shortbread or graham cracker crust. And it doesn't have to be store-bought, you can make your own, but we're starting off simple. So take the top off when you put it in the fridge to cover it. And then it's ready. That's it.
I can smell the lime juice. Key lime juice.
After you're blending it for a little bit, you want to turn it off and get your spatula and kind of scrape down the sides just so you make sure you're getting everything. And then you can check it to see if it's still kind of lumpy, and if it is, just keep mixing it more. You're gonna want to mix it at a pretty high speed just so it gets everything out that you don't want.
And we can edit this part. And then you can also say it can add air to it. Makes it lighter.
So high speed adds air to it,
Yes.
and that would be important. Why?
It just makes it fluffier.
Oh, well, that's
So-
important. Yeah.
Yes. The longer that you blend it at a high or mix it at a high speed, it gets more air incorporated into it and it makes it fluffier.
Oh, that looks wonderful.
Yes. So now we're going to take this off. Just tap it a couple times. And now we're gonna put it into our shortbread or graham cracker crust. So you just pour it right in. Make sure you get everything. And with the spatula, just smooth it down. Doesn't have to be perfect. And that's it. And
Wow.
then you put the top back on it. Crimp it down a little bit. And put it in the fridge.
In the refrigerator?
Yes. And you want to let it chill for at least an hour or two. Really, you just want to let it chill overnight, because then when you go to cut it, it won't fall everywhere and it'll be stiff.
All right.
And because the oven is cooling down, now what I'm going to do is pull this guy out carefully. Because I hate, if I make a mess, I get in trouble with you know who. And I'm going to put that right over here for.
Oh, that looks wonderful.
And this guy never got a drop, so. Well, yeah, it did kind of get a drop over here, so that's cool. That'll be delightful.
So how long does it cool?
Well, we're supposed to give it like 10 or 15 minutes to cool. And
Look at all
let
those
it kind of cool down
wonderful
a little
layers.
bit. And it also helps it kind of gel up a little bit. So that when you cut it, like with this guy right here, and we'll, you know, that it kind of holds together. We kind of like it to hold together.
Yes.
Okay. I kind of made a mess. You have to take off 10 points for the mess I made. I think that's good. We'll just do that.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go ahead. There are a few more to sample. Help yourself.
All right.
Pick the one you want.
You can grab mine and yours. Go ahead.
Which one do you
We'll go
want?
to the table.
Okay.
Go get yours.
Woo!
All right.
The pie has chilled, and it is time to have dessert.
Yes. So when you take this off, it's not jiggly. You can just cut it with a butter knife.
Oh, wonderful.
You can take your pie server.
Oh my goodness.
And it doesn't look really green like the restaurants.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
You could always decorate the top with Cool Whip or whipped cream, but we just don't even go there.
And why?
It takes away from your key lime
If you're
pie.
gonna do all that, might as well throw some M&Ms on top or something. Maybe not.
That one broke apart a little bit, but that's okay.
That
That's
happens.
okay. Perfect. I'm gonna get that little piece right there. And forks are at the table.
And it will keep in the refrigerator for probably 3 to 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you have to watch out for is after a day or two, it usually kind of gets a liquid that kind of forms under the crust. So the longer it sits in the fridge, your graham cracker crust or shortbread
Okay.
crust will get a little soggy.
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent.
Perfect.
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 Thank you, Jill, for a wonderful dessert. Thank you, Grandall, for a wonderful lunch.
Wonderful.